Hi everyone and welcome back to some Satisfactory. So today I want to get going with the next space elevator part, and to produce this we also need to produce yet another new thing. So yeah, I took the power from our steel factory here, whoopsie, and just relayed that to this cave here, where there is yet another Caterium node. So we are going to make use of that, as well as a copper node up top. And yeah, I will overlay you the graphic from Satisfactory tools. This is how I decided how many machines I have to build and how the clock speeds can be. They don't always need to be like that. You can manipulate them by yourselves if you are willing to change stuff up. And yeah, so basically this will be a two-pronged attack. We have the copper and Caterium here, and we are grabbing iron from all the way down there. So there are two miners set up with the numbers that we need, and this is coming over to here. I also took my time to add in a couple of support pillars. I'm just trying it out. Over there you can see, as well as the intersection, not intersection per se, but like, yeah, it was an intersection for the tractors. So I'm not sure about it. I will still have to test stuff out, but that's okay. So we are producing electric control rods here, or that is the goal. And then for the end of the episode, we want to get to craft all of the magnetic field generators, all 500 of them, so we can make another dent into phase 4. So, as I said, the clock speeds for the miners have been set up. I'm debating about if I want to change this up a little bit. So we basically will have the production of the iron stuff over here, and I think this could work. We are just joining all of this up together here in the hopes of having this as, like, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3 foundations wide of just empty space, and the rest will be for our factory. So we probably have to... Was this exactly 10? It is. Ah, that's cool. So yeah, we will have to adjust our belts here a little bit, but that is fine by me. So let's set up. First we need to set up the AI limiters. So we need the Caterium stuff for that done, and we need the copper stuff for that to be done. Now, these are not too badly... Yeah, they are not too complicated, so we take the copper first. Let's leave a little bit of space here. There we go. And let's think about this for a second. So you're going to need 3 copper smelters. We could do it with 2 and overclock them, but yeah, as stated in the past, I really like to do this stuff with just being able to plop down 1 more and then underclock it. Alright, and we also need 3 of them for the copper, so we could, in theory, just leave a little space here. And yeah, that works out pretty neatly. Don't mind me for a second. There we go. Alright. So yeah, we can actually just load balance these. We do not need to use a manifold here. So why don't we do that? There we go. And we definitely need to think about connections here, straight belts. There we go, and now we can set up the power poles, I guess. This works for now. go. And obviously, we need one in the middle to connect all of it up. There we go. That looks fine. So let's do some maths. Just some simple stuff. So this is going to be the copper, right? And our copper, as you can see, we would use 30 per minute. So what we want to produce is actually 80. We divide this by 30, right? And as you can see, 2.66667, right? So you could just underclock the third one and it's okay, but you can also just have all of them to the same clock speed of 88.88%. You can just paste this in and copy the settings. Go, paste it in. As you can see, this works perfectly fine. There we go. And now we will produce the exact amount of copper ingots that we need, and also we don't have any problem with the intakes as well, right? So 26.667 is what each of those needs, so Mark 1 belts for all of that is perfectly fine, and we probably should think about conveyor walls. Oh, yeah, this is where positioning of this would be nice. Yeah. Oh well, we can find a way to deal with that, so basically let's have one there and one of those there, and then we will worry about everything else. Okay, so let's bring our copper over to this, and also let's merge all of it up. I think we will use... Should we... Yeah, let's just use the center one. There we go. So that sets up the smelting for the copper quite nicely, and all we have to do with this is send it into 4 constructors. So that's pretty decent, right? That shouldn't be too much of a difficult task to do. So let's grab ourselves a couple of constructors, and we could go for just a manifold line here. Or we can split it 2 times each. I think I would like to actually try that out. We could take this side. Doesn't really matter how we split it. And here we can just do something like that. Oh. Yeah, it's going to look weird anyways, doesn't it? Doesn't matter how I try to... Oh no, that works. That's fine. Now we just need to take another splitter. It's okay, we can do this. There we go. That is way more complicated than a manifold. But it should just work out. So let's grab ourselves power pole here, upgrade it to Mark II. And we need this guy to flip into here a little bit. That's fine by me. Okay. And we can work out how we want to deal with everything here later. That's fine. So now we should see these guys start up. For now, you're just going to up a sink down. A merger in front. go, and we will merge all of these guys up. We also need to set those to copper sheets. And they can basically just be at 100%, right? So there we go. And those will be basically 40 copper sheets per minute. Which is, oh boy. Is exactly what we do need, right? So yeah, we can connect this in to the awesome sink. There we go. So we can just see how everything is going to work here. Seems perfectly fine. Also, this gives me... Oh, do you know what? We can now take the power pack again. Cool. This simplifies building a lot as well. So, yeah, this is the copper sheet side of things done. And yeah, as I said, we could have used a manifold here, and that probably would have looked better. But I decided to just try something else, right? Sometimes experimentation can be way more fun. So now we do have to deal with the quick wire. Normally, right, you take 45. Now the thing is, this is 96 Caterium ore, so it's roughly 72% clock speed. That is what we need. There we go, these can start producing now. And they will produce 32 Caterium ingots. Now 32 is a bit of a rough number to divide into 3, I guess, but if we do this, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So basically everything is getting load balanced here, which is fine by me, right? Also, we need to do the math for this. So instead of 36, we need... Yeah, okay. It's doable as well. So 12 per minute. What we are providing 32, so that's almost 89% clock speed. Copy this over. Oh, okay, yeah, that looks good. There we go. And we are just going to use like conveyor lifts here. Like this. To feed that over. Yeah, that looks good to me. Okay. So now again we will just have a merger line, but I feel like I want the merger line on top here. So normally I would have another merger here, but it just works out perfectly fine like this. Now we need to be careful because this is 160 quick wire that is getting produced, so we do need a Mark III belt to deal with all of that output. For now we can just also merge this into the awesome sink. So yeah, if you take a look at one of those, it's 50, so we are already in need of a Mark II belt here. And the third merger basically necessitates a Mark III lift and belt. But yeah, so this can just be running right now. It fits where I want it to fit, right? Which is very nice. Okay, so we will need 7 smelters to process all of the smelting that we have to do. And that's fine. We do have, remember, the smelter 8x blueprint that we can use. And if we take a look at this, if we rotate this, there we go, you can see the input and outputs are basically orientated in a way that you have to, or the inputs on this side, but the outputs go to the other side, right? So we could just rotate it like this, and have this feed over. And I think that's a good idea. But we also probably want to like have this centralized somewhat in this building. Yeah, so we have a lot of space here basically, which is fine. But something that I absolutely need to do is get rid of these glass foundations here, because they are not lined up properly. But yeah, now you can see this blueprint in action, and yes, we now need to delete one of the smelters, or we just downclock the last two to do the work of less, because yeah, this is absolutely a manifold setup, right? So we also need to go through this and check the belts. It's Mark III. That's actually perfect. Mark III is what we need, both on the input and the output. So that's perfect, honestly. That couldn't have gone better. Now, yeah, we will have to deal with a slight curve there, but in my eyes, that's absolutely fine. Go, we can connect the iron in. And before we fire all of this up, right, we can go ahead and fill in this whole complete roof. Now, depending on how you orientate this, yeah, the metal beam would look into the same direction. I guess this hasn't corrected it, but that's fine. Also, oh, it actually did work out with those. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, sometimes the connectors aren't perfectly placed on the metal part and just up in the glass, which can look a bit weird. But yeah, you can now really see why I do like those glass floors so much, because you can actually see down into this massive array of all the smelters, right? So now we could go and underclock all of them to make our lives even more easy. So let's have a quick look. Iron ingots, normally 30 per minute, right? Let's get rid of this for now. So we are bringing in a very odd number, and we are using 8 smelters, so that's 82, almost 83% clock speed. So we can honestly just go around and plop down all of those. So that's 24.76. 67, sorry. That is a bit more than we produce, actually. That's interesting. Or than we need, but let's just set all of those up like that. And also, do you know what? Since this corner is... since this corner does have the conveyor hole, we can use this for our power outlets, I think. So I think this height is good. Yep. Connect those up. And this will just make it... this will help, basically, to just fuel our manifold, right? So we can basically warm the manifold up to the work it will have to do. I can see this should work fairly nicely. Okay, let's grab the Mark III belt. There we go. So now this actually acts as a small warm up for the manifold, right? And you can see everything seems to be working. So let's grab ourselves a blueprint with the 8 constructors, and we will do a little bit of trickery here with the outputs, I think, to... although that could become tricky. It's also very easy to rearrange this, because all we have to do is think about where the line starts and where it ends. So we know that Mark III is all we need here. Let's make make sure this is set to Mark 3. Perfect. So the first 2 of our constructors, those will be set to iron pipe. But instead of 25, we are going to produce 36. And that means 72%. Is that correct? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So, that's what these 2 are meant to do. And the rest of those guys will be set to produce wire that we need. So, I will have 2 output lines. And oh, that's perfect. Okay. Right, so this is an odd, right? It's an odd number. So it is 7 wide. And we can use the center for our output on this side. Okay, everything's that's good. That is really, really good. So now let's think about this. We need to merge up the outputs of the last 2 a little bit differently, right? We don't want these guys to interfere with our wire that we want to produce. So our wire is our next priority. All we have to do is just put in the mergers again. Did I do the correct orientation? Yes, I did. Okay, so I need to go 1 higher actually. Oh, there we go. Now these can be connected quite easily again. So these will produce 96 wire for us, so a Mark II belt is what we need. There we go, Mark II belt into Mark II conveyor. And yeah, we will have to do a little bit of finagling here, but we can actually use those on the flanking seams of the foundations. It would be nice to have it in line with where we will send the resource out anyways, so that looks good to me. And then all we need to do is just actually connect them in like that, and for now into the sink you go. So that means now we do get a conveyor lift floor hole. Oh, wait, before we do, we need to set up the alternate wire, 12.5, and we now have 6 constructors instead of 5, so yeah, that looks good. Paste in this formula, so everybody will make 16 per minute, and that comes out to, oh, yeah, perfectly, 96. And that's the number that we do need. So let's paste that in. There we go. They are all yellow. Good. So now we are going to take our Mark III lift. And we are going to delete this, looting this floor hole, and we are just going to line this up right here. There we go. So now the manifold up here can start working, right? And yep, these 2 need to be filled up first. I think that's the mistake that I've made over at the heavy modular frame factory. I think that is what slows that factory down. So we should see some pipes from the first 2, and we should see some wire, from the other 6 constructors that we have. Absolutely, I can see a couple of pipes. And yeah, this just will need time to warm up. You can see the first wire is getting produced. Very nice. Only need like 2 assemblers. Set to AI limiter, and we are not producing 5 per minute. We need 8. We should divide this by 2. There we go. 2 of them on 80%. And that produces the 8 AI limiters that we would like to get. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yes. Okay, I think that has been good. All right. It's a bit messy, and I guess we will have to push the corner of this building back by 1 wall. Okay, we need 3 more assemblers. And I guess for those guys, we will put them over here. Okay, so the job of these guys will be stator production. So this is why we use the iron pipe and the iron wire recipe, right? We only use iron to produce stators. Excuse me. And we need to produce 12 stators. Oh boy. Okay, so there we go. 12 and 5 is what we would normally produce. Divide that by 3 and we get the 80% clock speed for this. Right, so now, ooh, we do have a little bit of clipping going on here. Okay, it is a little bit clippy. But I think I will have to deal with that. And it's okay, don't you worry. I think we are fine. Except for, can we even put the other manifold in here now? Yeah, we can. Oh, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. We can't just lift this to there. Let's go around. There we go. We then need a Mark II belt. Connect up this manifold. Alrighty. And Mark 1 should be fine. Yeah, it's 32 wire per minute, so good. Alright, we need to merge. And we are just feeding it back into the awesome sink for now. So let's make these connections happen. Okay, so I was debating on putting another story up here, right? But it seems excessive, but I think I want to do it, because it's honestly just 2 assemblers that we need. But also the storage. So I think I just want to have the storage up here as well as the dimensional depot, right? So yeah, we are just going to grab one of those over here. Have one of those over here. And we will have a merger here that runs the output in between and out. There we go. And yeah, we can just set up the electronic control rods in here. And as you can see, this uses 6 stators and 4 AI limiters. So we are able to get 2 of these guys running. Okay. Yeah, first priority is the depot. Second priority is our storage container and overflow to the right into the sink. That sets up the whole production basically, except we need to do the input. Yep, these guys are filling up with stators and AI limiters. That's good to see. And yeah, there we go. Look. Awesome. So there are the first electromagnetic control rods. There we go. Both of them have produced. And yeah, as I said, first the depot, second the storage container, third the awesome sink. Boom! Aha! There we go! So this should have applied everything with the swatch. I think I'm done. While I was building here, I did summer sloop both of the assemblers, so we are getting very close to where we need to be. And yeah, I just went for a very basic design with the steel walls. I tried to do something here in the middle, as well as the other building is pretty much the same, and we just have flat roofs with this little lip added, and we have like the entrances down below. There we go. That's pretty much how this one came to be. Nothing special. Okay, I just saw something. There we go. And yeah, I just have the sink up here sticking out up top, which is fine, I think, for now. Alrighty guys, so while this was crafting up there, I went exploring a little bit. So I got myself a couple of hard drives, a couple of power slugs, sloops and spheres, which is very nice indeed. And we should have, yeah, this is finished. So these are the 500 space elevator parts that we wanted, that we set as our goal of today's episode. And I'm super happy that we actually just reached that. So let's turn those in. Up. There we go. So 2 more parts that we do have to worry about, and these will take a little bit more time. So the thermal propulsion rockets and the nuclear pasta. I think we need a couple more milestones for those, right? So let's have a quick glance at that. Okay, so there we go, there's the thermal propulsion rockets in the leading edge production, which means we need fused modular frames, which we can get with advanced aluminum production. Okay, and for this we need 50 radio control units. I feel like we should just craft those. Yeah, I'll really have to think about how I would like to go forward with that, right? So we'll see. But yeah, a good amount of sloops actually, which is very exciting. I do like that a lot. And I think, how are we looking on hard drives? We have 5 now. We probably could go for a couple of rescans soon. Awesome. So if you take a quick glance at our slugs, right? Yeah, that's a lot of slugs that we can sloop into the good old power shards. So I think we are pretty much set up for a long while with those. And that is very, very good. So the radio control units, were those in the assemblies or? Oh, I think those were in the manufacturers, aren't they? Let's have a quick peek. Yeah, they are. Okay, so it's either oscillators, computers and casings, or oscillators, casings, rubber and circuit boards. You know, we could sloop the circuit boards, take some of the rubber. 2 computers is a bit tricky, I think. Oscillators and casings are no problems, but I will have to check my computer production really quickly. That's fine, we can't worry about that in the next episode. For today, as I said, I'm very happy that we have produced another space elevator part that brings us a little bit closer. And yeah, for the next episode, it's either going to be nuclear power, or it's going to be fused modular frames. This could be a whole slew of productions though. So yeah, I think we will set this as our goal to unlock this. And then we can like take a look what we actually do need, right, to get those. So I think I will actually try to craft 100 control units to unlock both milestones. Yeah, that sounds like a plan, so cool, awesome. But that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And as always, take care. Bye.